We are live as live. I am actually walking down the street right now. So, welcome. Today we're going to talk about marketing. We're going to continue talking about music marketing from a previous live session that I have. So if you missed it, be sure to go back and check it out. Okay? So in that session, just to kind of give you a little bit of a review, we talked about the complete marketing process. And what I talked about is number one, first having a vision, then conducting what's called a SWOT analysis, then doing a customer analysis, a competitor analysis, then doing testing and feedback, and doing goals. Okay, so if you missed it, go back and check out that other live class. Today, we're talking about strategy now. And we're gonna begin with two things, company branding and product branding. That's all I'm gonna do for today, okay? So let me talk to you about them real quick. First of all, company branding deals with presenting clear communications about your company with the intention of leaving a long-lasting positive image in the minds of your fans. Okay, so keep in mind a couple things that I just said. Branding is presenting. So you are communicating something about yourself. You're presenting an identity to your audience. Okay, you don't brand yourself. The audience brands you. And if you put out the right messages, they are going to receive you in the way that you wish them to receive you. So you have to be really clear, you have to be believable, you have to be consistent, right? These are all very, very important things. And in the best case, you need to be authentic, all right? So let's look at a couple very, very important things. When you are communicating a message to someone, keep in mind that part of the problem is that there's gonna be things that get in the way. There's gonna be cultural things that get in the way. There's gonna be peer sort of influence that gets in the way. There's gonna be something called schematic memory that gets in the way. These are all things that can cloud the messages that you're putting forth. So again, point being, you have to be extremely, extremely clear about what you're presenting, okay? So now let's talk about real quick, what are those things that you can present? Number one, a band name or a solo artist name that conveys something about your style of music or your personality in the best case scenario. Number two, a really clear logo so that when somebody sees it, it's a shortcut to their mind. They know exactly who it is. Like when you see the Rolling Stones tongue or you see the Misfits skull logo or something of that nature, right? Number three, you could have a slogan. You know, for example, Chapel Roan has, I'm your favorite artist's favorite artist. You know, something of that nature. Or ZZ Top had, you know, that little old band from Texas. Sometimes having a clear like slogan is also very, very good for your branding. Then you can have a mascot, right? Now, you don't have to have a mascot, but it's definitely something that you could do. You know, bands like Iron Maiden have had mascots for years, Eddie the Head, and that actually really, really worked out very, very well for them. Avenged Sevenfold has that death bat, you know, and they put that on their logo, they put that backstage, you know, I put it on the bass drum head. It's kind of a symbol for the band, you know? Then, of course, the way you dress is a very, very important part of your brand. So you have to think of what you're putting out there, fashion-wise, and the kind of statements that you're making, sort of with the clothing that you have. Okay. Also, your beliefs and your behaviors is another part of the brand identity you communicate. You know, what is your vibe? What do you stand for? All of these things are so important. Your story, your background, and the story that you tell your audience, and the story that you tell the press, you know, this is all a very, very huge part of your branding, okay? All right, now, another thing that a lot of people also mess up quite a lot is that your company brand and your product brands are two different things, okay? So your company brand is the artist. The product brands are the things like your songs, your albums, your tours, your t-shirts. All of these things are part of your product branding, right? So you need to brand them just like you would yourself. So in other words, you need to come up with song titles that represent who you are. You need to come up with album titles that represent who you are. You need to come up with the names of tours that represent who you are. You need to even name your merchandise, your t-shirts. Certainly you can give them a name. Like Beyonce calls her t-shirts like the Baytay and stuff like that. There used to be a band called Mastodon, and they were selling shorts. They called them Astodons, right? So you literally could brand all of these products with names, slogans, colors, fonts, graphs. All of this is part of your branding, okay? So really, really important. And the best case scenario, you guys, is that you're distinguishing yourself as being unique among all of the other artists so that you stand out, okay? So if I were gonna come see you guys play, right? Vivian, we got Vivian in the house, we got Chicken Dipper, we got White Wolf, we got a whole bunch of people watching right now. If I were gonna come to your live performances and see you perform, what would make you stand out? Your stage set from everybody else. It doesn't matter if you're playing on big stages or you're just playing in clubs. What would make you stand out? What is your brand? Are you gonna have exceptional sound, exceptional light? Are you gonna have maybe a local celebrity from another band or something come out and do a collab with you or a feature? Are you gonna have pyrotechniques, on stage? Are you gonna have certain backdrops? Are you gonna do certain things with the audience, like certain artist engagement or something of that nature? Are you gonna play like an instrument that sets you apart from everybody else, that's gonna make you stand out? This is all branding your live performances, right? So as you could see, branding doesn't only relate to what's your name, how do you dress, what's your slogans, what's your logo. It also relates to the products and services you put out there, how you brand your live sets, how you brand your merchandising, how you brand your song titles, how you brand your albums, the graphics you use, the repeated colors that you use in your marketing. All of this stuff is so, so, so important, you guys, okay? The biggest mistake a lot of young artists make is that they're not consistent with their branding. It's all over the place and nothing really stands out. It's really hard to distinguish you from another artist. So this is really important that you get this right, okay? So I think that's pretty much it, all I wanted to cover for today. If you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them and I'll make sure to answer them either in another live stream or I can just, answer you by email or whatever. All right, but company branding, product branding, it's all part of sort of DIY music marketing and creating a solid plan of attack that's going to take you one step closer to your vision, right? All right, you guys, so I'm in Los Angeles, California, walking down the street, as you can see. Boom, there you go. All right, you guys, peace, love, checking out. See you guys later. Bye-bye.